Good afternoon, everybody. Windy day here on Sodus Bay, and I figured I'd do a quick video to show this new reel. So I am a huge fan of the Shimano Tekota 600 LCs line counter, and use them on all my wires, or most of my wires. Was looking to replace some of my downrigger rods this year, and realized that Tekota came out with, they got rid of this old version, and came out with a new version. So this is, I think they call it the A series. So this is the, I think it's the 600, I can't even remember. It says it on the back here. It is the 600 HGLC A series. And they run about the same price, maybe a little more actually than the original Tekotas. About $200. And you can see there's a decent difference between them. They kind of modernized it and reduced the overall size of the reel. The retrieval rate is a 631. I believe the original was a 4.1, but I'd have to look. So far, I know the one big complaint we always had about the old version was the line counter on your wrist. And I will say they have done some improvement on that. It still hits, but it's much smaller now, and it's not nearly as obtrusive as the old one was. But because of that, you can also see the numbers are significantly smaller. So if you've got bad eyesight, it is definitely a very small number set, but you can still read it. Overall, I'm going to say that it is significantly lighter than the old version. Still mostly metal, I believe. It might be a little bit of plastic in the outer casing, but still feels solid. Doesn't feel as solid as the old version. I'm trying to think. Other complaint that I had was the drag on the Tekotas. You had to really crank down on the 600 LCs when you were running like a dipsy with a flasher fly to get it to not creak out. It was almost too much for the drag. And I thought I read that they had increased the drag on the new version, but I'm not necessarily... Well, it's pretty tight there. Let's see. Yeah, but that's set almost all the way. So the drags seem like they're still a little bit lighter than I would like. Haven't gotten out on the lake yet to try it. Fishing has been slow out there from everybody I've talked to, but we will get out there and try it here in the next couple of weeks and see how they compare to the old ones. Overall, I do like the look of them. They are pretty real. I'd like to get my hands on, I think, if I had to say what the other high-end reels out there are, is probably a Saltiste. I'd like to get my hands on a Saltiste. I'll see if one of my buddies or if any of you guys out there have one. I would like to do a little bit of a comparison against, what people consider the two prime reels. So one little pet peeve that I do see was fixed, and it's a small thing, you'll probably laugh, but you see that Shimano is upside down there, right there? Man, that used to bug me, and they did correct that. Doesn't really change the functionality at all. The clicker seems good. The release seems a little cheaper than the old one. The old one, it feels solid when you click it. So we'll see if that holds up over time. So, overall, it still feels like a very high-quality reel. I do like the redesign. It does feel like they may have gone a little bit cheaper with some of the pieces. Let's check the clicker. These clickers have never failed me on these reels. This one always clicks in. It just feels solid, This guy, it feels solid, but, it feels like they, some of the parts are just not as quality as they were on the old one. So we'll see how it works. The drag, let me loosen it up a bit so I can not pull it out of the holder. The drag is still super smooth, which is what it's been the one thing that I've always just absolutely loved about these Tekotas, is the just butter smooth drag. And that looks like that's going to work out really well still. So that was one thing. The difference, in my opinion, really the biggest difference in a quality reel is the drag. Where a cheaper reel, you'll get more of this motion, as the fish takes line, whereas on a quality reel it'll be smooth. So look forward to trying these out. If you've used the new Tekota, by all means, please let me know how you like it, and I'll keep everybody updated.